Someone from your past is reaching out to you energetically in a powerful and almost overwhelming way. Though you may not see it on the surface, beneath the silence and distance, this person is emotionally charged and deeply affected by your absence. They're constantly thinking about you, sending waves of intense energy your way, yet despite how strongly they feel, they are paralyzed by fear when it comes to actually facing you. The idea of a direct conversation terrifies them, not because they don't want to speak to you, but because they're afraid of what they'll say, how you'll respond, and whether they're even worthy of your attention anymore. In the past, this person chose to walk away, or at least attempted to. They tried to create emotional and even physical distance between the two of you, believing that doing so would somehow protect them or give them control over their feelings. Perhaps they thought cutting ties would help them move on, or that distancing themselves was the easier path. But what they've come to realize is that this connection is not something they can simply erase or ignore. Their feelings for you have proven to be more persistent, more resilient, and more deeply rooted than they ever anticipated. Now, as they sit with that realization, they find themselves emotionally overwhelmed. They feel lost in a sea of chaos, because while you're growing stronger and choosing your peace, they are unraveling. The emotional games, the back and forth behavior, the inconsistencies, they know all of it pushed you away. Your choice to create space and protect your energy has left a void in their world, and they're beginning to feel the weight of their own actions more than ever before. The very behaviors they used to cope with vulnerability, ghosting, detachment, toxic cycles, are now the same patterns that have led to their isolation and inner turmoil. Right now, this person is undergoing a profound transformation. They're in a phase of emotional purging, spiritual cleansing, and awakening. These aren't just buzzwords to describe discomfort, they're the real and painful process of being forced to confront one's own truth. This awakening is bringing up everything they've tried to suppress, regrets, buried emotions, and the realization that they sabotaged something meaningful. It's exhausting for them. They're mentally, emotionally, and spiritually depleted, and yet, through the fog of that exhaustion, there's one truth that shines through: they never really let you go. For a long time, they tried to convince themselves that forgetting you was possible. That moving on without resolution or healing was an option. But they were lying to themselves, and maybe even to others. The heart, however, doesn't lie. Now, in a place of vulnerability and uncertainty, their heart is doing what their mind refused to do, pulling them toward you with an urgency that defies logic. They can't make sense of it fully. There's confusion, inner conflict, even resistance, but none of it is enough to drown out the magnetic pull they feel when they think of you. They are desperate to talk to you. Not just casually, but honestly, deeply, soul to soul. There's so much they wish they had said, and even more they want to say now. Thoughts and emotions they've buried for too long are starting to resurface, demanding to be expressed. And yet, they can't seem to find the words, or the courage, to say them to your face. What they're holding on to, they feel they can't share with anyone else. You are the only person they believe would understand. They don't just want to talk, they want to be seen, heard, and maybe even forgiven. They see you as someone who could help them, not in a savior sense, but in the way your presence, your wisdom, your energy once brought light into their darkest moments. They miss that light. They miss you, not just the connection, but the real, raw, honest version of you that they may have taken for granted. And now that you're not so easily accessible, now that you've learned to honor your boundaries and your worth, they are beginning to realize just how much they've lost. This isn't to say you owe them anything. In fact, part of their awakening involves realizing that their healing is their own responsibility. But in their heart, they can't shake the feeling that reconnecting with you could somehow help them find their way out of the darkness they've been lost in. Whether or not that happens is up to you, of course. Still, their energy continues to reach out, longing, hoping, maybe even pleading, because the weight of what they feel for you is too great to carry in silence much longer. This is a soul in distress, seeking redemption, clarity, and perhaps one more chance to be honest, with you, and finally, with themselves. My feelings for you are as real as the air I breathe, genuine, unwavering, and untouched by time or circumstance. No matter how much life changes around us, no matter what obstacles come our way, nothing can alter the truth of how I feel. From the very beginning, there was something about you that spoke to me on a soul-deep level. You didn't just enter my life, you transformed it completely. You awakened parts of me I didn't even know existed. By simply being yourself, loving me openly, wholeheartedly, and without conditions, you made me feel things I never expected to feel. It wasn't just love. It was a kind of emotional honesty and rawness that shook me to my core. You are the most honest and reliable person I've ever encountered. It amazed me, truly left me in awe, how someone could be so straightforward, so real, and yet so gentle and kind at the same time. In a world where people often hide behind masks, you chose to be transparent, even when it made you vulnerable. And that authenticity is what drew me to you. I remember countless moments where your honesty disarmed me, where your sincerity made me stop and question why I was still holding on to my fears. You made me want to be better, not just for you, but for myself. Looking back, I feel remorseful that I didn't fully let you in when I had the chance. There were times when I held back, times when I let my own doubts and insecurities build walls between us. I regret not trusting the bond we had more completely. The truth, the one I couldn't say aloud then, is that you made me feel truly alive. You made me smile in ways I hadn't in a long time. You gave me joy just by being present. But more than that, you made me feel vulnerable in a way I'd never experienced. And while that vulnerability was beautiful, it also terrified me. The kind of power you had over me wasn't something I was used to. You saw me, not the version of myself I showed to the world, not the facade I carefully maintained, but the real me. You saw the parts one tried to hide, the wounds I never showed anyone, and somehow you embraced them. You didn't judge. You didn't flinch. You just held space for all of me. That kind of intimacy can be frightening, especially when you've spent so long pretending you're fine, even when you're not. Sometimes, the way you understood me without needing me to explain anything, it scared me. But it also healed me. Now, in this silence between us, I know you might think I've moved on or that I'm doing just fine without you. But that's far from the truth. Each day, I carry the weight of missing you. I pray to God every single day, asking Him to find a way to bring you back into my life. There's a quiet ache in me, one that only you can soothe. And I know I may not have said it enough, or in the right ways, but losing our connection has left a space in me that no one else can fill. From the very start, I had a feeling that if we got close, I would fall hard for you. And I was right. I knew that once I let myself go, there would be no turning back. And still, I tried to run. I tried to keep a safe distance, to protect myself from the depth of what I was feeling. But love doesn't work that way. It finds you, even when you try to hide. It wraps around your heart and teaches you lessons you never asked to learn. And the biggest lesson you taught me is that love, real love, requires courage. Courage to be seen. Courage to stay. Courage to open your heart, even when it's scary. So here I am, laying my heart bare. Not to beg or to plead, but to finally speak the truth. You matter to me more than I ever let on. What we shared wasn't temporary or trivial, it was meaningful, deep, and unforgettable. You changed me. And even if things are uncertain right now, even if we're not speaking, I want you to know that my love hasn't disappeared. It's still here, still strong, still waiting. Maybe one day you'll feel the same. Maybe one day, life will give us another chance. Until then, all I can do is keep the hope alive and keep sending silent prayers into the universe, prayers that lead you back to me. Your partner is currently going through a very intense and emotionally draining phase in their life. They're feeling completely worn out by the karmic situation they are entangled in, one that has pushed them to confront deep-seated patterns, emotional baggage, and unresolved negativity. This karmic connection, whether it's with a person or a set of circumstances, has served as a mirror, reflecting back everything they needed to acknowledge, face, and release. It's been far from easy. The emotional toll of this transformation has left them feeling tired, lost at times, and desperately seeking a sense of peace and clarity. Despite all this internal chaos, one thing that continues to rise to the surface is you. In the midst of their struggle, they keep finding their thoughts drifting back to the connection they shared with you, a connection that was not only meaningful but deeply grounding. Unlike anything they've experienced before, being with you gave them a genuine sense of freedom. You saw through them in ways no one else could. You understood them not just on a surface or intellectual level, but on an emotional level as well. That emotional connection made them feel truly seen and accepted, something they have been missing for a long time. They often recall how safe they felt with you. In their darkest moments, you were their light. When everything felt like it was falling apart, you remained steady. You were someone they could rely on without question. It's in looking back at these memories that they realize how trustworthy, loyal, and emotionally available you were, and still are. You didn't just offer love, you offered understanding, patience, and compassion. You were the calm in the storm, the anchor that kept them grounded even when they were too blinded by their own chaos to appreciate it fully. Now, as they begin to wake up to the reality of what they had with you, reconciliation is becoming a major focus for them. They're not just missing you, they're beginning to understand the depth and significance of your connection. They are actively working on themselves, doing the inner work, facing their shadows, and reassessing what truly matters to them. This period of reflection is not just about regret, it's about transformation. They are trying to become the person they believe you deserve, someone who can offer you the same loyalty and emotional security that you once gave them so freely. Their heart is set on making things right with you. They're not just hoping to come back, they are planning their return. But this time, they want to do it differently. They want to come back whole, healed, and ready to build something real and lasting with you. They are no longer interested in running from their problems or repeating old mistakes. The karmic drama that once consumed them is now something they're consciously walking away from. They recognize that continuing in that cycle will only lead to more pain and disconnection. If your partner is currently involved in a karmic relationship, this message serves as confirmation that it is coming to an end. That chapter is closing, not just because it has run its course, but because your partner is finally choosing growth, truth, and emotional authenticity over fear and avoidance. The karmic lessons have been hard, but necessary, and now, they are beginning to see that these challenges were preparing them for something deeper and more meaningful. That something is the connection they had with you. For those of you who have been waiting patiently, holding on to faith while trusting in divine timing, know that blessings are on the way. This is not just about romantic reconciliation, it's also about justice, healing, and emotional alignment. The universe has witnessed your patience and your pain. It has seen your tears, your prayers, and your unwavering hope. You didn't walk away from this connection, you honored it, even in silence. That dedication is not going unnoticed. In the days and weeks to come, you may begin to see signs of your partner reaching out, trying to reconnect, or expressing remorse. They might not have all the right words at first, but their actions will begin to align with their intentions. They are on a path of healing, and their heart is guiding them back to you. Whether or not you choose to take them back is entirely up to you, but know that they are coming from a place of genuine effort and emotional honesty. Ultimately, this is a time of transformation, not just for your partner, but for you as well. You've grown through this journey too. You've become stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. If a reunion does happen, it will not be a return to the past but a step into something new, something more authentic, balanced, and emotionally fulfilling for both of you.